Started. Gundam fight all set. Ready, go!
Hello, one and all, to the Mechpit chat for this week for a very special, spectacular episode. And oh, sorry, where are my manners? Of course, just give me one moment to. Welcome to our very special Halloween episode. As I have decided to brush out the proper wizard's attire, and I suppose for the sake of tonight, I should probably go the full route with this and rename myself tonight. Hello, folks, and welcome to the Mechpit chat for the week of Halloween 2025. I am apparently tonight's Mr. Spellcaster. Here to regale you with a little bit of entertainment for an hour or so. And with that said, let us get into things, shall we? In the back here, I do have one of my good regulars with us, and I would like to go ahead and bring him on as we go ahead and start this. So, without further ado. Mr. Punkwaddle appears.
Yes, and I did not dress the part, but I wish to be a bard.
A bard? No, don't you know whatever happens to bards?
I saw Stanlin's hand. It was cool.
No, things don't go well for bards around here.
It will help.
You know, point taken. Can I re-roll?
Don't worry. You can just roll a new character up. Don't worry.
Okay.
So, how you doing, buddy?
I'm pretty good, and I'll put the food down for a moment. I meant to eat a little bit sooner before the stream, but my Mondays have gotten a little bit different than usual. I'm doing pretty good. As rumor may have it, I've been a little bit away from the YouTube for the last couple of weeks. I might have been on the road last week and might have had some technical difficulties trying to join the stream due to some hotel internet. But no, I had some fun family time. I have some anime to catch up on, but we decided to, some stuff going on with family a weekend, so we decided instead of flying to drive out to the East Coast. And then since we were driving, we ended up driving back and seeing the fall colors and the leaves change, like the made it to the Blue Ridge Mountain Scenic Drive with beautiful, perfect sunlight, drove to the Smoky Mountains a little bit, stopped off in Gatlinburg, made sure to hit.
Oh.
By the way, if you're a moonshine fan and you like the sweet flavor, Sugarlands or Sutherland's is by far better. Old Smoky's all right. They were the first ones to do it, but the Sutherland's, they have this. Yeah, I'm not saying that right. Sugarland is good.
I was fortunate enough to be able to head down that same way a few years back, and down in Gatlinburg, I chose to go to the Smoky Mountain, the Smoky Mountain shop, where I got a chance to try out a bunch of the flavors. Mm-hmm. The pickles are pretty good. Like they're apparently their biggest seller.
Yeah, I've had those. They are pretty good, tasty. And I'll joke aside, they're not bad. I know. How do you think penguins have babies?
I thought it had something to do with a pebble. Like I thought they were born from rocks.
Well, rocks soaked in moonshine. Let's be honest.
Oh.
You ever heard of a salt lick?
I have heard of salt lick.
That's more of a sugar lick.
Gotcha. Mm-hmm. So, Punkwaddle, what have you how much have you been paying attention to things like have you I know you've been on the road, but have you had a chance to see what's been going on with anime like one of my current favorite series?
Mm. I've been needing to catch up on that and sit down with that. And it's not because it's Common Rider related that I have neglected it. I've seen
Uh
some clips and it looks pretty awesome.
we are of course on, and it has proven itself to be sort of like the big action title of the season is really what it feels like. You know
Yeah.
how I've often talked about how I feel like you need to have a nice little bit of variety for every season. There should be all these little niches filled, and action has always got its stuff going on.
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, ultimately, there should be at least one good action series. There's probably going to be at least one good kind of feel good series to talk about for the romance. You should have
Yeah.
that really weird out of the ballpark series that is completely out of the ordinary.
Like the Turkey 5 club that was like bowling, but it was weird space anomaly from the summer.
That we had the Deer series.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Things that you're like, this shouldn't work, but it's done by a really good studio, and it's yeah. No, I hear you.
And for the most part, I always kind of with a lot of series, I wound up like a season behind or so. Like I
Yeah.
just got caught up on season one of Dan to Dan, and I jumped into season two. So I'm getting that one into my lineup when that aired earlier this year.
Hmm.
But being the mecha fan I am, being the guy who's talked about Kamen Rider consistently for the last like 3 or 4 years,
Hmm. Hmm.
I knew I had to see Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider. And this has continued to be like the premier series, especially if you like the old school like Showa era, like before the 70s and 80s series, all
Hmm.
classic series, and there's so much love for those series. I've really gravitated more towards a lot of the Heisei on forward. So any of the Kamen Rider series from like 2010 on forward has been where I've been comfortable at. And I'm thinking maybe I should probably go watch those. Go watch a couple of those other ones, especially like V3 because it gives us uh, tackle.
Well,
Well,
now tackle is very relevant. I've seen clips that hopefully haven't spoiled things, and it's impressive.
mm,
Hmm.
such lovely mountains.
I mean, they're not shying away from the anime fan service to a degree or anything. Like it's just like you said, it's action. It's got all the it's packed with to the brim, full.
I really like the way the series is animated too. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just I've jump around and there's just like something about like the line work with it. It's really pops for me. Like there's a good amount of detail to this series.
And I think I said when I watched the pilot episode before you had watched it is like the thicker lines kind of reminded me a little bit of Archer in some ways, and but it like stylistically it stands out. The emotion, the surrealism of the whole thing, it just it works so well that I don't know. Like I assume that the pacing is still really good. The intense moments are drawn out. Like it was done with heart and passion
I
for
mean, come on,
sure.
how can you not love seeing like the flashback stuff for Tackle with her with the little childhood version of her? It's cute.
That's awesome. Yeah. So she's in a way like him. Yeah, she's packing a punch.
Oh, makes you want to join, almost want to join Shocker. She's IMDb. What are you doing?
Yeah, yeah. There's a
All right,
Yeah.
folks, we are appreciating the passion.
Yeah. The mountains of passion. You're right, Vince. You're right. Or Vincent now. Yeah, Vincent. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Archer is really good. The biggest thing holding back was the fact it was on FX.
Yeah.
Because for as fun as it is, it's one of those channels that just I don't know, just I never really thought to turn on. It's like if I had nothing else going on, I'd be saying, "Oh yeah, let me see what was going on over on FX."
It was one of their flagships, but niche.
Mhm.
Or niche, as some people would say.
No hentai in public. Well, look, she would go. She would go for a telephone booth, but we haven't had those.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh, Archer's on Tubi?
ooh, all right. I might have to start marathoning a bit of it.
I remember watching a lot of the first 4 or 5 seasons.
Oh God, say fucking every time.
Like the very first time. The expressions are, well, they tell a lot.
Jeez.
Oh, was that an example? Okay, yeah.
Okay, it might be the best show of the season.
All right. Well, like I said, I have some things to catch up on, like this one, and then I was saying, may I ask for one last thing or one more thing? That anime where she's the girl is starts off where the Duke or whatever is breaking off their engagement, and then she's like, "Oh, can I punch you?" And she beats the crap out of him. Like I said, there's some good, and she's quip and clever, so like it's got some good. That's a good show too. But like I said, the action, the intense, the fun moments, like you always have to have a show or two like that.
And the problem is I'm having trouble finding people who I could talk with about it. Because it's like, first off, Kamen Rider, there's still that effort of like, come on, you got to watch this show, and it's like, well, it's already part of an ongoing series.
Yeah, where do I start?
It's like there is no continuity. It doesn't matter. Just pick a series and watch that.
Mm-hmm.
Which, speaking of, Vince, I still have to watch this most recent episode. I got a little busy this weekend, so episode 8 still awaits me. I'm like, it's coming up, and I know it's pretty exciting from what I've heard.
So I'll say this: I will be catching up on that this week. Like I want to. It's a good show, just because I think I had one to cook, and then all of a sudden it was like, well, I'll just wait till I'm done with my thing. Get back and can settle in and binge a few episodes of things.
There's a little bit of a slowness to it, I feel, but I get this sense that so far with episode 7, we're right around the corner from getting a big a shoe drop to change things up. We've gotten used to the way this is going. There's a definite flow and expectations for what you should be expecting to see episode to episode. Now let's see where that twist is going to come in, because it feels like it's building to that.
Okay, and is that with the Kamen Rider formula as well? Usually about this time, something, or do you just think the show itself is telling us that?
It's a little bit of A, a little bit of A, a little bit of B. For example, in Kamen Rider Geats, there was this. In Kamen Rider Geats, it was this whole Squid Games, Fortnite sort of thing where you had this whole you're going out and doing the missions every week, and our riders are being eliminated, only to find out that like, hey, at some point you kind of discover that this is a game show that's being kind of made to entertain people in like another world. So it had this twist with that was throwing the game into a different perspective. Like, oh, everything we know is being made for the sake of entertaining people who are so far advanced ahead of us that we're toys to them.
Got it.
And then also, well, actually, that show had a couple of twists like that. And well, yes, I did kind of give away one thing with the show. There's still enough to it that I would say that is an enjoyable series to go watch, regardless. And by the way, yes, you can watch it on Tubi. So, with that said, yeah, I can't recommend that enough. And I think it's time to, of course, talk about sort of our little main topic for tonight.
All right. I'm excited.
You know, I feel like I've been having a little bit of a shift with the way I kind of look at this with running the show here. And, yeah, it's kind of fun just to talk about, big anime, but sometimes there's big enough topics where you have to just look at these things. And really, the one thing that seems to have dominated this weekend is now the idea of the console wars and the end thereof.
Yeah.
To that, of course, we had the announcement of Halo's coming to we're getting the Halo remaster that's coming to Xbox, to PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's coming out all over. And with that, the neutral third party that is GameStop decided to get into it and say, "We hereby declare the console wars are over."
Can I say one thing? And maybe I should wait to the end, but I can't. And I'm going to jump the shark on this one because I'm Penguin.
Yes.
But I feel like this is just GameStop's ploy to be like, hey, guys, we still exist just because you tried to short stock us and kind of screw us out of existence just to prove to somebody else that you could do it. Like, we're still here and we suck. Wait, I'm sorry. I didn't mean the last part. There's great people who work at GameStop, just their corporate identity the higher ups seem to be interested in middle management more than the people who do the jobs. That's all I'm saying.
And the problem, ultimately, the problem is GameStop just needs to find an identity, and it seems like they exist to try to basically drop memes at this point, because I can't think of the last time I went into a GameStop. I really don't remember.
So I will say this, there's a local GameStop, and I used to work next to it, and so I would just kind of stop in and say hi to the guys there, and they're still pretty cool, and they're like, yeah, I know it's GameStop, and I know we have some other game stores in town, but they're at least cool and helpful, right? And so I appreciate the people.
Oh, it was always kind of fun to go in, because you would kind of get to know some of these people. Like one of the guys who was the manager, he knew me by name. I'd walk in, we'd kind of have a little chit chat, and then I'd head on out and kind of go on about my life. But I think about those guys now and then. I'm like, is that guy still there?
Yeah, I mean, they'd recommend which pop vinyl was hot that week, because that's what they do now.
Yep. And just a shame that some of the decisions they made over the years, like, if you happen to buy some certain cartridge games, like I'm sure, for example, with the Switch, they're just throwing those cases away to save space. Like they did with the 3DS, like they did with the PSP. Basically, anything that was just a cartridge, or like the PSP's UMDs, they would throw the plastic cases out, the instruction manuals, all to save on space, because they kind of have to. It sucks, and it led to people going in and dumpster diving to collect this stuff.
Yeah,
and I hated looking over to that section, because I know why it was like that. It wasn't because some kid traded this stuff in. It was because a manager was basically trying to crush the space down.
Yeah.
But of course, speaking of things that were crushed, no one was quite expecting the memes to flow in the direction they did because
Mm-hmm.
the White House got in on it.
The master in tweets.
The shit poster in chief.
Mm-hmm.
Power to the players.
That's pretty epic, though.
And it kept going because as we see here, in building off all of this as well, Rapid Response 47, number 9, as in Trump has now ended 9 wars. President Trump presides over the end of the 20-year console war.
Okay, that's good.
Well, I think we're like in the best timeline somehow. We for a while we were in the best one, then we went to the worst one. Apparently they are just like flicking the Hadron Collider on and off, and Harambe is constantly getting like revived and he getting Schrodingered.
Schrodinger's Harambe. That's a new one. Okay.
And they keep going with this because and I appreciate that GameStop is able to have some fun with it. They're just posting silly images. They aren't trying to be inherently political any means, but it's like, hey, the White House is getting in on this. We're GameStop. How can we get our names back on top of this? I know we'll just here's Donald Trump. Here's Donald Trump meeting with Master Chief.
Yeah, and you can
Here
do
we
anything.
Go again.
Oh, that's gross.
I need you to upload it to the Bob. I'm finishing the fight.
That's a little disturbing, but I appreciate where they're going with this. Yeah.
We have the video game industry and we have governance just coming together to make silly memes. It is just something beyond.
General Grodd. Nice.
Okay, Decibel. The thing is, Xbox and Halo were definitive systems of a generation.
Like
Master, to put it in context, because I know Decibel, he's a bit of an older guy. He's not some young spry chicken who's he's not a Gen Z.
Yeah.
Master Chief for a time was as big as, if not bigger briefly, than Mario. Especially during the Halo 3 era, in which
20 years ago, the Xbox 360 and Master Chief were really dominating. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're right. So much changed because of Halo. Mountain Dew went from being, just kind of like hillbilly swill, something you would mix whiskey with. Maybe guys playing D&D. The identity of Mountain Dew got stolen by Halo players because of Halo. It's an underestimate. 10, 15 years ago was huge.
Yeah. I mean, the reach of Halo.
Oh,
he didn't.
Yes, that's true, but the thing is, Halo is still actually pretty popular. For example, about a week or two ago, I went to a local game shop for tabletop games. And the guy there was telling me how one of the top war games they have, aside from your aside from the Warhammer stuff, aside from Conflict 47, which brand new title, might be flavor of the week. We'll see how that goes. One of the top games they have that's getting constant attention is the Halo tabletop war game.
Okay.
And this is coming from a guy who was like, I think at the Halo World Championships for the tabletop game, like ranked in the top 10.
Nice.
As he was telling me. So I only have his word to go on, but he's also like a shop. He's also one of these guys who works with Mantic Games, who distributes the game, and so he has a bit of reach and pull. I'm kind of inclined to believe it because I do see people playing this game.
Yeah. I mean, just to add on to that, in the fact, and it's part of it, is that I think in the way that GoldenEye was Nintendo 64, that multiplayer, and you could use it if you had the LAN party. You could do up to 4 consoles, right? So you could have 16 players in one space, and then Halo came out, right? And so all of a sudden, Halo was the next generation. Not quite a decade later, but it was like the next big thing. If you were playing GoldenEye, this Halo game was cool. And then if you were in college around that time, you were having LAN parties in the dorms, like I did. And then you could just do 16 people, but then you had the online, because they're one of the first who did the online, like with 2450, right? Players, right?
I don't know if it was that big. I think
At
maybe
first
16 or 32.
I think you could at least get to like 32 in Halo 2 on some of those big maps. And that just like blew people's minds. And you weren't just playing with the people in your LAN party, you were playing with people on the same server area, right?
I remember with the youth group at my church, we were doing these lock-ins up at the church where we would all get together and we would do Halo LAN parties.
Yeah.
We would have a little pause break, then we would get together, do a little bit of stuff out of the Bible, but then we were kind of doing our little kind of group community activities.
Yeah, and then you drink Mountain Dew and eat Doritos.
Unironically.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason why we have an entire this hood my cloak keeps betraying me, but there's a reason why it just changed so much.
Yeah,
and it's kind of sad to see this all happening in a way, but also if they were going to have brought one of these over, it really should have been the Master Chief Collection.
Yeah.
Or that Halo Infinite. Those are 2 existing Halo games. They have player bases. This would have been an amazing way to bring people back into those games, similar to how we had Helldivers coming to Xbox that just brought in a big rush of those older players coming back. I would have fired the Master Chief Collection right back up and dropped into a couple games.
The reason I bought a Halo Xbox One S was for the Master Chief Collection had just come out that winter, and this was like January, and Halo 5 had just came out. So I got the one with the Halo Wars 2, which it kind of sucked that it was digital, and it's kind of already installed, but whatever, those little turn-based things that were kind of dumb. But I got it because I was like, I want to play all the Halo games. And, Halo 5 was okay. They took away the multiplayer, which sucked, but I played with a friend online. It was okay, right? But, oh man, Halo 2, wow. Brings me back every time.
Right.
But then, I mean, well, the other thing is Microsoft has kind of been leading towards, and I think they stepped it back because they're announcing another console-ish. But for a while, it sounded like Microsoft didn't even want to make consoles anymore. They just wanted to do computer games and give you your Xbox controller that was, Bluetooth compatible or USB compatible. Um, so the fact that they've been pretty much an online service and neglecting that console for so many years, like shifting to be a game company, not a console company, and allowing Halo to be sold and accessed through the PlayStation Store means they're at least gonna get money from somebody else when they're similar to the way that Japan is drying up on its own. Nobody's there to buy stuff because their population is declining. you know?
Well, the other thing as well, the reality is the console wars have been over for some time,
Yeah,
and everyone else went their way.
we all
You
know.
have people who have now invested hundreds of dollars into their libraries on their platform of choice, and so there is ultimately no reason why these people should realistically switch. You have people who have invested all this time in this time, this money into building the library on PlayStation. There is going to be almost no game they could possibly drop. They could drop, 5 AAA games that have this Metacritic score of like a 99 in a row over on Xbox. Those PlayStation players will still not touch it.
Nope.
But if Microsoft turns around and goes to PlayStation and puts it up there, yeah, sure, they're going to lose a percentage to the PlayStation Store, but they're still getting like the lion's share of that money, and that's a potential customer that they wouldn't have had before. It's
Mhm.
like how you have everyone who sells through Amazon. Yeah, they'll get some sales through other places, but for the sake of convenience, people are going to go and sell on Amazon. And that's just kind of the reality of it. It's like, well, for example, I mainly play on Steam now. I have a Steam Deck. If I want to sit down and play portable, I can do that. The thought of buying a Switch 2 is really not enticing me, especially for third party stuff. The only thing Nintendo has over there is their exclusives. And having seen the state of that stuff, like the new Mario Kart looks
Mhm.
terrible.
Mhm.
It doesn't look as good as the last one.
Mhm.
Pokemon doesn't look as good as the Digimon stuff, and I'm having a blast with that.
Oh, that I haven't played it yet, but that new Digimon that came out a couple weeks ago, about a month
Mhm.
ago,
Yep.
I've only heard good things about it.
And I mean, you compare the mega evolutions they're teasing in Pokemon to what's going on with Digimon. I'm like, oh my god, we spent how much time did we spend last stream going over some of like the waifus and the designs in Digimon?
I mean, I watched in the chat, but I heard you guys talking about it a lot, and I was told there's like, is there 400 or how many Digimon that you can have, and then choose how they evolve in that game, and how many come with the DLCs?
Yeah, it 200, 400, something like that. Plus the ability to digivolve them back down and then
Hmm.
go evolve down a different route altogether.
Hmm.
You have a lot of potential to be able to customize them to your heart's content. And
Hours.
plus if anything, if you don't want to go out and buy the new Digimon for full price,
Hmm.
do yourself a favor and pick up Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth. It's I think actually right now on the Switch, the last Digimon title, Cyber Sleuth, is on sale for like $5.
Oh, damn. Okay.
And that is going to be like an 80+ hour RPG if you want to really sink your time into it and have fun exploring that. It is essentially the same title. It is a lot of the same mechanics. It's very similar to that. You have your party of your three party members, your three in reserve. You'll have plenty to enjoy with that. But speaking of dead titles. Speaking of, shambling zombie franchises in this,
Yeah.
I was listening to our good friend the Common Nerd this morning, and we were
Oh,
talking, and I was talking to chat with them a little bit there. We were talking about the state of Magic, the state of
Mm-hmm.
Hasbro, how it's a bit of a zombie franchise going forward, much in a similar way to the idea of the console wars that we've talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And looking ahead at what's all coming for Magic, it really seems like that is a similar a similar zombie franchise. Let's see. What are your thoughts on the upcoming Energon Universe cartoon? It's supposed to be more geared towards adults as young adults. So, all right. So I want to put a pin in the Magic thing real quick. This I think we have some good potential with that, considering based on everything we've heard, Robert Kirkman is basically in charge of what's going on with the Transformers Energon Universe cartoon. The guy is basically printing money. Of course, Robert Kirkman of The Walking Dead, of Invincible.
Mm.
The guy, he has one of those names that is going to draw people in. And I think he's able to leverage his name to be able to get a lot of control over it. And frankly, because this is all Hasbro related, Hasbro really does need Transformers to be a success.
Yeah.
Frankly, they need Robert Kirkman more than Robert Kirkman needs Transformers.
Mm-hmm.
That said, I'm not exactly a huge fan of Invincible because I don't like the modern nihilistic deconstruction of superheroes. From the little bit of Invincible that I did watch, it is enjoyable. I want to see more traditional hero stories. I don't the ultra violent Omni Man is here and just gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah, think, spellcaster, think.
Super memorable. I get why people like it, but it's just kind of not. I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't for me.
I
Plus,
didn't watch
I have plenty
season
of Kamen
2.
Rider.
Yeah. And the hope is that when he looks at Transformers, because I mean, Invincible is supposed to be that. Invincible was already written. It has that sort of theme. So hopefully he'll stay true to the Transformers and doesn't try to do that thing that he was famous for, right?
Omni-Man is a hero. I can see why you would think that. Why you say that, Decibel.
It wasn't. It was neither Monday nor Thursday, Ronnie.
For me, it was Tuesday.
For me, it was a Tuesday. And you're right. This kind of does go back, like you said, Hasbro connects because in like you do when you go to towns like Gatlinburg and some of these tourist towns, you check out the shops to see if there's anything kind of unique or fun. Because usually they have some art stores, they have something, and then they have just the generic drivel slop. And every now and then you can find some gems in there, and then sometimes you find stores that have like magic cards and like the Spider-Man and the I don't remember what else. It's just like, oh, that's right. This is why people are tired of. They don't want to put. How do I put this? Magic, when it started, was so like Magic D&D, like it was fantasy, but now it's like, oh, so you want the Fortnite treatment, right? The Call of Duty treatment, the whatever pop culture drivel, as opposed to, you know, your imagination.
Yeah, and you're not wrong with that. In fact, we actually have had Fortnite cards in Magic at one point.
Oh,
The infusion of
Jonesy.
IP into Magic outside of Magic really
Mhm.
turned me off to it. And to an extent, I was okay with the idea of adding in Dungeons and Dragons because Well, that's a cross promotion with Wizards of the Coast own brands. I was okay even with when they did one or two like holiday cards for Transformers because well that was just kind of like a silly, Christmas card or for like some like
Yeah.
they only made a couple of those just because it was a niche thing and that had like that had a rule to it where you had to physically transform a transformer as part of the card effect.
So yeah, it was a silly gimmick. It was fun. Somebody might use it and follow the rules, but for the most part, it was something fun and cool, right?
There was a Nerf card at one point.
But they were all like
And
one-offs, right?
and the it was called Nerf War.
Okay.
Sorry, let me pull this up for you just so you can see what this exactly was.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things they would do was they would put them on like a silver border. And the idea was like, oh, it's not like tournament, it's not any sort of tournament legal, but it's basically just a fun little promotional card we made for probably conventions or for some like high end price item. Wait. DJ Ronnie, I'm not Loki. Loki is me. And also, you notice I actually have hair. And if you don't agree with me, I will destroy your planet.
Mm.
This is, of course, Nerf War. 3 for a blue and a red. Fire a Nerf blaster until empty at target library from at least 2 meters away. So you can tell this was a European card as well.
Mm-hmm.
For each card knocked off that library, put it into its owner's graveyard, and Nerf War deals 1/2 damage to that player. Foam darts only. I'll tell you one thing. It's not nothing.
That's funny.
But that's what I'm talking about. Like that was the silly thing you could get out of those crossovers. That's because again, it was something Hasbro owns Nerf. So I was okay with that. Like, yeah, that's silly. It's not. Yeah, it's a dumb silly card. They would do this every year with like Christmas cards. Like every year, they would give to like store owners.
Yeah.
No, I'm contrary to popular belief, I'm actually not Culture Casino stunt double. But we've gotten to a point now where we have about half of all sets that are releasing are some sort of IP infusion into Magic. And this is that sort of zombification of the franchise where these sets are just making way more money. I lost interest in it because I don't want to see, the characters from like The Walking Dead get cards. Like, one, I don't care about The Walking Dead. Zombies. But also, I don't want to play with, with these characters. Like, if I wanted to play, a game for those characters, I would go play that. I don't want to see them try to justify rules in Magic to make these things work.
Yeah.
And as we see from Bounding into Comics, Magic is looking to accelerate Universes Beyond. If you can conceive of a collaboration, we probably have inked the deal. And to that end, we've seen some numerous sets come in. We've gotten Lord of the Rings. We've gotten, as I said, The Walking Dead. We've had Marvel. We've had Marvel just came out, and it's only a matter of time until they probably bring in Star Wars next. Of course, one of the next sets coming up is the Turtles.
Again, like even Lord of the Rings, because it's high fantasy, like
I could even be okay with that because again, like I like Magic because it's fantasy. Yeah, they get a super rare like sci-fi set, which is kind of like an experimental idea.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play that. Like when I got out of Magic, it was Kaladesh where they were doing this like, solar punk fantasy like kind of aesthetic with like people are making these like big energy machines. Like it's like the Inventors World Fair sort of thing. Like, okay, this is getting a little too sci-fi for my taste at that point.
I played Magic in like 96, 97.
Oh yeah, we also had The Office, by the way.
Actually, earlier than that. Yeah.
I hate this. I hate seeing what this become.
Yeah. Well, it's this sort of thing like when it's like when the powers that be decide we need to stay relevant, we need to connect with pop culture, we need to do. It's like when you start having all the pizza parties to get people to show up for the event, and they don't pay attention to the event because you gave them pizza. And it's like, oh, like I everything becomes a Funko Pop. It's like, oh, I want this version, the Funko version of all the Spider-Mans, but I need all the Spider-Mans in this other version, and I need the Labubu. I'm sorry I said that loud. I can't say that seriously, but like, yeah.
I too prefer the CCGs stay true to one franchise they target. Yes, same. If I want to go play that game, I want to go play that game. I don't want to see. I don't want to have to like. I don't want to have everyone just dropping in their favorite characters, and then we say like, "Oh, I've got Deadpool. You have Dante from Devil May Cry. Vince is playing his Knuckles deck." It's like, seriously?
Yeah. And there are games that are built around that idea, right? And some of them work, but like it's one thing if it's made like that, like Fortnite, where it's like, this is just going to be silly slop, right? Take it as seriously as you want to. It is what it is. Everybody respects it or disrespects it, but it's like, it's not like I'm so invested in this thing and like, oh, you know what? We're not interested in the things that got you interested in this franchise anymore.
And to that end, we've now seen the projections for what's coming up with the next few sets for Magic, and it really kind of is a bit of a heartbreaker because it's just we're getting to a point where almost half the sets are these IP infusions. Like I said, coming from us from Polygon, they kind of have a list of stuff coming up. Lorwyn is more of the classic sets. This is a Magic setting. I'm okay with this. It is fairy tale nightmare stuff. All the Grimm's, the Brothers Grimm sort of aesthetic.
And that's fun. Like I can see like a fairy tale villain hanging out with the basilisk, right? Right.
Yeah.
It works.
To that end, we have some sort of unknown thing coming up.
Oh, cool.
There's a Magic and Nickelodeon set coming up, which we assume is going to be that Turtles thing, or possibly, or probably more SpongeBob. Well, we've already got SpongeBob.
I think SpongeBob's supposed to come to Fortnite too. Like, it's funny how there's certain things that are just kind of parallel, and because it's weird of this keeping up with the Joneses. So if like one of these multi-franchise slop games gets one thing, it seems like within 6 months, or they're trying to sell their merchandise to somebody else who will buy it up so they can make money out through that IP, right?
To that end, we have a return. Oh my god, a return to fucking Strixhaven. Okay, so Strixhaven is a Magic setting. This is Magic in its own wheelhouse.
Okay.
This was essentially Harry Potter with the serial numbers filed off. It is a school. It is a school for Magic users, in which the Colors of Magic would have the various like houses. They had their own sports. They have their own sports game to it. This also got released as a D&D setting, to which we of course had a free adventure for like a one shot in which players were baristas in a coffee shop, where one of the challenges you had to overcome was a complex drink order.
What?
Yes.
How? What?
Everything I just said there is true.
Okay.
You had to deal with like some sort of like fire imps in like the coffee maker. Because when you think D&D, you think magic coffee makers and complicated coffee orders.
Yeah. No.
This is okay. I certainly wouldn't call this a classic magic setting, considering this came into existence like 6-7 years ago. Oh, and Punkwaddle's gone. He couldn't believe it. Decibel, I'm afraid you've kind of missed the boat on this because they've been doing some updates to orcs along the ways. No longer are orcs these like oppressed, ugh, zug zug sort of characters. They've pushed them into this idea of being these almost noble savages. Personally, I just prefer to. I kind of don't really deal with orcs in my settings too much. I just have goblins being little chaos agents. And then, of course, coming up in June, we have more Marvel. So, yay, superheroes. Pass. No, there are Marvel card games out there. I enjoy Marvel Legendary for what it's worth. I think that was a fun little CCG deck builder thing. I don't want it in Magic. If I'm gonna be showing up with my zombie deck, and then a lone Punkwaddle might appear, I don't want to have to, turn around and see the players playing his Thor deck. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
now, I've heard some mixed stuff about how well the current Spider-Man set is doing,
Mm-hmm.
and for what it's worth, there is some decent looking art there.
Art
That said,
helps.
not enough for me to go out and spend money for a pack of cards. Mind you,
No.
when I was playing,
Mm-hmm.
every single set I would have dropped about $150, almost $200 per set, and we're talking across the 7 sets here. We're basically talking about over $1,000 on just Magic product alone. Would have been within 1 year for me
Okay.
if I played at this pace at this rate.
Mm-hmm.
And this isn't taking into account like all the commander sets, all the other side stuff they also put out. It has outpaced me, and it's gotten to a point where, unironically, Warhammer is a cheaper hobby to get into.
that's saying something. And it's funny though, because like you're saying, buying the whole sets, right? Because I mean, Gundams take up a lot of room in the built or unbuilt, but then it's like I have, and like I said, the time I played Magic and people gave us some cards and stuff. Me and my brother some cards. Like we have several card boxes worth of cards that I don't, like I said, I don't know how many, if there's any in original, but they're the first few editions for sure. Like I said, up until 96 or 97. But like, if we had kept up with it, just think of how many bookshelves of cards we would have, right?
Exactly. That's the other problem with it. You are buying pack after pack, trying to chase these couple of rare cards to it, and then you wind up with countless copies of cards you're never going to use, and then you just have a list of stuff you're storing up, building up. It's like there is so much investment in not just your money, not just your time, but also the space. Like I have box of stuff here that I'm about ready just to toss out because it's like I don't play this anymore.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the space cleared away.
And then it's like, do you just give it away? Do you try to go to somebody and sell it, which takes forever? Do you sift through to find all the expensive stuff to sell and then give away the rest?
But even then, with the way Magic sets come out,
Yeah.
and the way power creep sets in, you will almost never keep up with this stuff. Like they are going to outpace you. So those cards that were super good when they were coming out, the stuff you were playing with that might be like the bomb cards,
Right.
might be just outpaced and with having things that are just objectively better. Like
Mhm.
it turns into an entire game where you look at the stuff and you realize I could pay 3 mana with
Mhm.
for this 1/1 with flying or a 2/2
Cool.
with flying,
Yeah.
or I can go over here and get the and pay 4 for the same thing with flying with trample and
Mhm.
has this extra ability. It's like, okay, here's 4 or 5 extra things this one card does for essentially the same cost, or maybe just the power tweaked up a little bit, and then you get a slow and steady curve of the ramp
Right.
where they come back around, they look and say, we will put out, 20 years later, we're going to put out cards that are going to be at common rarities that are as good as your rares.
And so, unless you have something that, because it's so early of an edition in pristine condition, right? So, like, unless it's like at some point it's a survivor card, it kind of gets lost into the nothing burger, is what you're saying.
Well, yes, but also no at the same time,
Okay.
because the problem is these cards need to be playable.
Yeah.
So, and by that I mean, yes, quality matters, but also what is going to matter when it comes to Magic cards is going to be how does the card work.
Hmm.
If it has a really interesting wording on it, that might make a card temporarily spike because of some weird interactivity with like a modern card. So you frankly you just unless you
Uh,
are watching this stuff, you just don't know what's going to pop off and become really valuable. And even then,
right.
it might only happen for like a month before Wizards of the Coast comes out and decides to ban one of those key cards that makes the combo pop off.
Right. Right.
So August we have more. We have the Hobbit, which again I'm kind of okay with, but knowing them, they're gonna go ahead and push in like probably Asian Gandalf this time around.
Probably some Harfoots for Amazon.
They could.
Hmm.
Reality Fractured, which they're like, oh, which is a year from now. You're like, oh, you're not gonna believe what's gonna be, and we'll probably see some cards leak from it in like August.
Hmm.
And then the one that really dumbfounds me that they're going for, because it just doesn't seem like it is timely, is Star Trek.
Hmm. What's relevant to Star Trek in the next year?
Exactly. It's like, yeah, okay. There's, I'll give them credit. I think the art is solid,
Yeah.
but the problem is, Star Trek isn't in the zeitgeist like a Marvel is, like the Lord of the Rings is. The audience for Star Trek is in their 50s at this point.
Hmm.
That the young people don't flock to Star Trek like they would. And yes,
Right.
it's great that we're seeing just classic art, classic characters. These are beautiful pieces. But how many people are going to come buy Magic just because they have Star Trek stuff?
And if you're interested in Magic, are you interested in Star Trek? Yeah, okay, there are definitely people who play Magic who like Star Trek. That's definitely true.
Oh, for sure. But the issue is, if you look at this from the perspective of what IPs would you want to bring in,
Yeah.
I'd be looking at the roster of stuff, and I'm sorry, but Star Trek just it would be like the bottom of the stack. Like
So this is
I'll be
this is just this is just hear me out, because this is just a demographic gamble, right? Because a lot of nerds who play Magic also go home and watch the old Star Trek. Like, there is a if you look at the concentric circles, if you look at the diagrams, there's a lot of crossover. So they're just banking on the fact that you really also like Star Trek and you don't like the new Trek. So we're going to give you a nod and assume that you're going to spend hundreds of bucks to buy these really cool cards. in the Magic universe because those are the two things we assume you do with your life. Like Big Bang sort of um,
Well, the
archetype.
only issue is I question how much of an audience there actually is there for Star Trek still. Who
I
is
don't
still
disagree. I'm
who is
just
still
saying,
holding the flame for Star Trek? Yes, Picard season 3 did well, but we've had a decade plus of subpar series,
yeah.
and who and who's talk who's talking about Star Trek still? I mean, outside of all of us who are 35 or older, like where are the young people who are into Star Trek?
Like I said, they're banking on there's 30 and 40-year-olds who still play Magic who are going to they're gambling that there's enough people still interested in both that it's worthwhile enough to make it. Like I said, this is looking at numbers on spreadsheets. I think. Um,
If it were me, if I was the one to pick an IP to bring in,
mhm.
I would have gone for something like World of Warcraft before I would have gone for Star Trek.
Yeah,
WoW still has millions of subscribers. While they don't report the numbers anymore, we know that there's a definite audience there for it. People will
well,
come in. There's attention.
is WoW Wizards of the Coast as well?
No, that's Blizzard.
This
That would
was Blizzard,
be
right? Yeah,
now Microsoft.
yeah. So maybe that's part of it because Microsoft probably wants a bigger deal. They're probably gonna think they have the biggest, swinging the biggest stick around, so they have bargaining tools. Um, and I think that's half with the collabs of who's going to make more money off of it and what they're willing to give, and you know what I mean. I don't disagree. I just feel like Star Trek being also, like you said, kind of the fact that Paramount is flailing, right, and floundering.
Well,
Um,
I mean, Paramount actually it does. There's a lot going on with Paramount. They have money, but the Star Trek stuff isn't it. If anything, I would have said go for like I don't know, Tulsa King. Look, if The
eh?
Office is getting cards, fuck it. We're gonna go like get Rocky Balboa cards. Ivan Drago is like a mono white. He has this quote at the bottom. I will break you. It's just like destroy target creature.
Yeah. I get what you're saying though. Like, I mean, so you said there's 7 of these coming out next year?
Well, there are 7 sets total. Like about 3 of them are either an unknown, like this Reality Fracture,
Right.
but within that we also have The Hobbit, we have
Yeah.
Marvel, we have the Strixhaven thing, Lorwyn.
Hmm.
So, and then we're still going to have some of the sets that are still going to be sitting on shelves. The Spider-Man stuff is currently out,
Yeah.
is out there. That
Yeah, like I
is
said.
that is basically your big Christmas set.
Well, it is red, white, and blue.
I mean,
And
there's been some really solid pieces. I did appreciate that they got in a couple of more lesser characters. Like, of course, one of my favorites of them all, Mr. Fancy Dan.
yeah.
Like the Enforcers got a card, Kingpin got a card, J.J. Jameson got a card.
Okay.
Basically, if you can name a Spider-Man villain, they probably got a card or they're
Okay.
on one.
Got it.
But I think it was a bit of a fun episode tonight.
Yeah.
I had a couple of little things I was going to talk about, like apparently D&D is shutting off Project Sigil, which was supposed to be their attempt at a virtual tabletop,
Hmm.
because at the end of the day, no one really wants it.
Yeah, that's
You
fair.
and me both, buddy. We're both waiting on that. You know what? I would support a Venture Brothers set. Oh wait, where are we going? Yes.
Mm.
Let's see. We also had a couple things like the director for the Final Fantasy VII remakes was telling people to skip the original, telling new players to skip the original and come in to check out their version first.
Well, that doesn't make any sense because it's not a remaster. It's a remake. It when I started playing. Wait, this isn't the PlayStation version, right? Are you,
Oh,
did I get confused?
no. Here, let's go. Let's go and pull it up. Let's go through it real quick.
Because like,
Hey, thanks to
I'm
our friends over at Bounding into Comics.
yeah, thanks Spencer and friends.
Yeah, thanks, Spencer. Rather than getting into the RPG Classic via its original, now widely available on digital platforms release. Hell, they're even rebuilding it with its magic, as we talked about Magic, the FF7 Remake Trilogy Director.
Oh yeah, the trilogy.
He
Yeah.
believes players will be better served by getting their first impression of the game from Square Enix's, from the current, like the new titles coming out, and not going back to play the PlayStation 1 Classic.
I'm okay. I just wanted to make sure I heard that because I will tell you this. I bought the 7 Rebirth and I started playing through it, and I was like, that's kind of weird because Sephiroth is kind of doing a weird thing. I'm like, what is he talking about? And then when I realized, oh, it's not a remaster. It's like a second time through. It's playing with the lore. It's like it exists because the first one exists. So if you play this game not knowing what the original was, how are you going to understand the lore that they're playing with? It doesn't make sense. Yeah, exactly. But it's like as soon as I realized that it was going to be $70 for this, $70 for the second, $70 for the third, just to play the game, I sold it back immediately. It was like, give me at least 34, like give me as much as you can. I don't even want to play this because this is just a cash grab instead of going back to the original.
And that's the frustrating thing with Square because they know people just want a remake of this game.
Yeah, and they're not going to give it to them.
Well, the problem is they don't know what it is they want to make. They don't think people want to play turn-based RPGs, and yet we see them popping off. Like, was it Claire Obscura?
Mm-hmm.
Or that Elysium 33, whatever it was, the kind of
Expedition 33, Claire Obscura. It was the same, yes. And that did gangbusters this year. In fact, I'm waiting for, in a month to see what Black Friday sales for the Digimon game, for Claire Obscura, and anything else, because last year I bought games at full price and didn't play them for half the year. So it's like, why did I buy the big titles at full price when I could probably get them for half off in a month or two?
And frankly, that's the smart way to go about it. There's really no reason why you should, frankly, go out and pick them brand new. In fact, if you wanted to go over to over to CD Keys, you could get yourself a little bit of a discount over there. Like, in fact, you could pick that up for about $12 off already.
Well, nice. I will say that going back to our good friends over at GameStop, there has been times where I've bought used games and some other games and stuff, and it's like, I'm done with these games. So I have, in fact, sold back some games and got the in-store credits and all that, and enough to invest in one or two new games, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I don't do that all the time, but it's like, these games have run their course. They kind of suck. I'm done with them. Wish I hadn't bought them. So, and then those are the ones I end up pre-ordering because, like, I know I'm going to get it, or somebody wants it for, getting it for somebody as a gift because they really like a Mario game is going to be a Mario game, right?
Punkwaddle, let me recommend to you what is the ultimate truth in the end.
Okay. Yeah.
Steam is your friend, and when one goes the way of the Steam gamer, they learn to be patient. All things come to the PC gamer in time, And if you're patient enough, you will get it for pennies on the dollar.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I waited damn near a year for Warhammer Space Marine 2 to come on sale. But eventually I got it for like I think $40.
But do you have physical media with Steam?
No, but I mean, let's face facts. Like 90% of all sales these days of video games are all digital. It's
which is
just the harsh
stupid.
reality of it.
I know, and I understand that now buying a physical disc or a cartridge, as with the Switch 2 debacle, whatever you want to say, the fact that they were using key cards for cartridges and allowing for that. So, like, yeah, at this point, physical media is not necessarily physical media anymore, which is, I'm going to have to mull over that one later.
I mean, let's also acknowledge, like, hey, the sales you can get over on Steam are well worth their time as well.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight for $7.50.
Okay.
And it's like one of the best Metroidvanias out there.
I've heard so many good things about it, and I've almost bought it.
Its sequel, where is it? Its sequel, Silk Song, is like $15-$20.
And I know Silk Song is all the rage right now, or it was.
Silk Song, $20.
Nice.
It's just that final truth. It's like you kind of don't own these games, but also like they will all bend over backwards to try to come to the PC gamer to get their money.
Yeah.
This is the lesson I have for you all today. Honestly, you are best served by just accept the fact that video games are going all digital, and be patient and pay digital prices, which is to say, either free if you're savvy enough, or you pay cheap prices on Steam. And then if you want to still keep buying up a bunch of physical media, let's go for the DVDs. Let's go back to the days of the old binders. I'm loaded up in my Babylon 5.
Yeah, exactly.
I've got a little bit of anime in here. Escryad. "13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo."
I think I have the Scooby-Doo and Batman special too.
Aren't those fun?
They are. And those are fun crossovers. Again, fun one-offs, silly, goofy things, because the parent companies, like what you're saying about those, Christmas magic cards, like those nods are great, but to create a franchise based on, well,
it's one of those silly things where you don't take it seriously. It exists just to be in the moment. There's certainly no idea in mind that this stuff's going to be all connected,
right?
Or that it's all going to be treated as like the super serious. We have to keep these things connected. So, with that, of course, tomorrow night I have coming up over with Pops and the boys over on Talk Hard. We'll be talking about a little horror movie for the season, and I'll probably have another costume on for it. Because I have enough of them now that I can at least show up on every stream in a bit of a different getup. Maybe I'll be a wizard. Maybe I'll actually dress up and wear a suit. We'll find out.
I'm excited.
But before that, I am jumping into a little 2010 movie. And Jed, why are you calling me now? I am literally on stream. The man has a link to this. He could just jump in. But no, he has to give me a phone call. So, of course, I'm going to call you out on. No, but tomorrow night we are delving into a little horror movie that the other boys have never seen, but this was one of my recommendations, so they could have a little bit of a. Never knows. Maybe it'll be a good one. Like maybe it'll be one of my good recommendations up there. Like Highlander 2. Maybe it'll be one of my bad recommendations.
Like Frogtown.
Oh no, that's in the good. That's in the good category.
Oh, what's your bad category?
Really, just middling movies. Stuff like Scooby Doo and the Witch's Ghost. Like,
Oh, okay.
yes, Jed. He's texting me and I was like, "Oh my god, I'm sorry. Today's Monday. Your stream's on, aren't you?" Yes, Jed. My stream is on.
It just keeps texting.
Yes. But yes, to get into this, tomorrow we are delving into Tucker and Dale versus Evil.
Oh, no. Okay, I have seen that one. That is funny. That Alan Tudyk is such he's an like he's what am I trying to say?
He doesn't get a ton of star leading role attention, and he deserves more attention. He's great in a lot of stuff he's in. He's a steady actor.
Yeah, he could be the lead, but he always ends up doing really great. Like he's real. Actually, I don't know. He seems more fun because he's in a supporting role. He has more fun and creativity and more leeway to do stuff. Like, I mean, he was in School of Rock, right? But he was also in Firefly. Like he what was that? Do you remember that it was a DC movie or DC TV show? It had the guy who played Abed from Community, and it was like The Others or whatever, and they worked for a subsidiary of Wayne Enterprises, and like I think Alan Tudyk was the boss, but they were like the scientist team trying to come up with like, oh, how do we combat Joker's laughing gas, to help people on the street who might have to deal with it. Like, it was kind of it was only on.
Fletcher says Doom Patrol.
No.
Although I'm seeing he was in Doom Patrol.
Okay.
Like, well, I'm a little surprised. I'm going down his list of stuff he's been in. Like, he voiced Arcade and MODOK. He was on Devil May Cry. He did some stuff in Robot Chicken, Frozen.
He's a good voice actor too. Yeah.
The voice of Iago in the live action Aladdin remake.
I didn't realize that. Like, what am I? I'm trying to think of an actor that kind of reminds me of, like how Gary Oldman is a really, really, really good actor, and half the time he's in a role you don't even realize it's Gary Oldman. You just know that was a really good role, and like, oh, that was Gary Oldman. What? Yeah, the villain from Fifth Element. Oh, that was Gary Oldman. Oh, for Gordon. Oh, that like all these things that you're just like, that was just a really good portrayal. I didn't even realize who it was.
He's an actor who gets consumed in the role. Where it's the opposite of the Ryan Reynolds problem.
Right. Or George Clooney or some of those, like, I am who I am.
Well, I would say there's a category of actors who, for myself personally, I don't like seeing them in roles because they're there to be themselves. It is Ryan Reynolds. It is The Rock. It is Jack Black. Like, these are actors who you can't see the role for. You see the actor.
Right. Like the negative version of a John Wayne, because John Wayne was John Wayne, but John Wayne did John Wayne real well, and they built a whole thing around him.
Well, he was also like a genuine movie star. Like John Wayne is the dude. He's a man who had that that leading role machismo that actors like The Rock wish they had.
Right. Okay. Yes. But what I mean to say is it was always John Wayne, right? Except for like 2 movies, it was pretty much he played the same person every time. But that worked, as opposed to these guys who play the same person every time, and you're just like, eh, you know. That's the parallel I was drawing. Like, if that makes sense.
But suffice to say, yes, I get to subject some friends to watching Tucker and Dale versus Evil, and we get to see their reaction to it because
Okay.
they all were regretting this movie because look, for whatever reason, the last time I recommended a movie, they hated it. It's like, guys, it's Street Fighter the movie. How bad is it?
It had Jean-Claude Van Damme. Come on.
For them, it was the worst day of their lives. For me, it was Tuesday.
True. And Vincent, thank you for that. It was Powerless. Yeah, Tudyk is a distant cousin of Wayne or something. And yeah.
Yep, that's my other favorite line, Vince. Quick, change the channel. I love the build up to that bit because here they are with like a flaming truck full of explosives, like rolling down a hill towards them, about to take them all out, and they see it happening on TV. They look out the window. They look back at the TV. Back out. And then Zangief looks up and says, "Quick, change the channel." It's so dumb, but I love it.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god. It's not Street Fighter, but it was enjoyable for what it is. We had a couple of prominent actors. Raul Julia as M. Bison is some great performance. Like, you will remember that. It is like the greatest villain line ever, and I compare every villain monologue line to it.
Mm-hmm.
But Punkwaddle, let's see. It's as great a line as well.
I know stupid, and this is definitely stupid.
Nice.
So, Punkwaddle, with that, what you got coming up?
Well, I'm gonna try and get back to the PSAs and the Ice House since I've kind of been away for a little while, and I'm gonna hang out with the Mad Barber crew, the Matapap, doing talking about some weird thing of history tomorrow night, like I've been doing for a little while, and then Wednesday, me and Snacks should be back at it for our Cotton Collision, talking about the crash out, and since we haven't done it in a while, I'm not sure what he talked about last week, but I'm sure we might touch on some of the Twitch stuff and the Emiru stuff because that's just spiraling out of control. Like,
oh my god, yeah, I totally forgot about that because we touched on it last week, but since then the story has only gotten worse.
Because there was the thing that happened at TwitchCon, which I caught. But then this weekend, because we were traveling and stuff and driving, I didn't catch the whole thing with the Ms. Kiff and all that stuff. And I was catching up on Legal Mindset's like abbreviated 15-minute video about stuff earlier. And I'm like, holy crap. Like, this is a crash out of epic proportions.
Well,
like,
yeah.
The streamer wars has... Forget the console wars, the streaming wars, the streamer wars has begun. Sorry, go ahead.
And it's only getting worse. I mean, like, for example, the Hassan stuff just is still going on.
Yeah. And people don't talk about, like, Johnny Somali, did he get put in jail yet?
I think he's been sentenced.
Okay.
Here, actually, I clipped this from Kino Casino, but I had to share a little something here with you guys.
Please.
Sounds good.
Nice.
What?
If you stop talking about it, maybe chatters, that's pretty crazy. If you think that it's my not talking about it is going to be the you are now a lolcow.
I just that it was just too good. I had to grab that.
I mean,
speaking of, so I have 1,000 tangents. Have
Yeah.
you heard the new big hit song?
I have. You're gonna have to tell me where from.
There is
The
like,
excitement
one of the-
in your eyes scares me.
there is a new hit song that came out called like Shock Shock Shock.
Oh, nice.
And you know, I don't care what's gonna happen. Maybe it'll be clipped or not. Either way, we're gonna get a little sample of it just to
Okay.
show a little bit of love.
Okay.
And this within a week, it's got like almost 2 million views now.
Marks generated this shit.
Yeah, shock my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shock my dog, shock. 2,000 volts straight in her top. Cause my dog can't stay in her spot. Yeah, got this remote on me like in my Glock. If Kaya try to move, she out of love. She better know I don't give a fuck. She's getting off her place, she's getting strong.
Wow. I mean,
Certified banger.
yeah. I mean, AI is something. Wow.
Whoa, I haven't heard that song in about like a decade.
You haven't been to a wedding in a decade. Always Cupid Shuffle, Electric Slide.
Style, electric glide.
Yeah.
Gotta stay in that little place for 8 hours. She getting
This is not
up, I
escaping
can't
it.
allow her. She my Palestine, I got the power. I'm in my electric ivory tower. Why she act like such a baby? When I shock her, she go crazy. Making me look bad on the stream. Gonna hit her with my power beam.
It's so terrible. We're laughing about a song about a guy who abused his animal.
Yeah, but I feel like
But there's
Somebody-
nothing we can do about it. So at this point, it's just this is the man's legacy that
Well,
he's not escaping. He is now known as an animal abuser.
yeah, and memed to oblivion and back. And so, yeah, the guy who was he on Piers Morgan? No, he wasn't on Piers Morgan. He was on that other show, right? Or was he on Piers Morgan?
Oh yeah, he's been on there a number of times.
Yeah, like the guy who just straw mans and just says things and rants and then like mental gymnastics and talks about something that nobody was talking about or even debating on stream is now like, oh yeah, so this is why we probably shouldn't have cared about what you had to say to be.
And the thing is, like this dude is like privilege beyond privilege.
Right, because his uncle or whatever.
His uncle, his father, he has been positioned in such a way. Like the amount of protection this man gets, like this is
Yeah.
the only thing we can do. We can is just laugh at this stuff about this guy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, the guy is in a position where he doesn't have to fess up this stuff because there will never be ramifications for him for what happened.
Right.
Like it benefits him to not own up to it, to not admit to it.
And all the memes just kind of make everybody aware of him, but also like pay attention to him if you want. He's kind of it removes some of the power he has, if he had any.
Yeah, we gotta finish this one out.
I don't know why that stupid dodgy up. She should know better.
Oh no!
Not to offer help. Cause you already
That's
know
awful.
where my stream is. I do some shit that would get me banned. Don't you know how much
Was that
money
Seth
I
Rogen?
spend?
Probably.
That cost more than your mama rent.
That is such an underrated line.
More than your mama's rent?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because it's like some super expensive like designer dog he got.
Uh-huh. Kamen Rider villain.
Guys, did you know he's gonna be like the new Raiden? That's my favorite. That's my favorite like meme that came out of this. Is like him as Raiden
From Mortal Kombat?
Yeah.
Wow.
Or Palpatine.
Oh,
I mean, he's just as evil.
Yeah.
I got the most expensive breed. You know that's the one I need. That stupid dog is so spoiled. Yeah, one more time she getting boiled.
Oh my god!
Moving with my dog to China. I'll eat a
No! No!
From the couch to the trees, Kaya too shall be free.
No, Kaya. It was Harambe, now it's Kaya.
Oh my god! I just, if there's any one thing we'll end on, that I recommend people do, especially when it comes to the memes and this stuff, go to the comment sections on them. Decoy voice, based on a true story. Now show us the AI version. We paying the electric bill with this one. Shock. This is probably the best form of public shaming I've seen so far. See my Palestine, please, I got the power. Finally, Hassan content that isn't garbage. Remember, if much like Warhammer, if this gets striked, it's canon. I don't understand why the corporations love this dude. Why is YouTube shadow banning this video? She's my Palestine, I got the powers of diabolical bar. YouTube clip number one hype song is insane. Yeah, that's the other thing too. Like that new hype feature hit, and people are hyping this song up.
Very nice.
We sit in the same spot for 8 hours on this one. Set. Oh my god! Like I said, it is one of those stories. I'm surprised that it hasn't gone away. In a way similar to the Epstein stuff that just hasn't gone away. The whole Kaya story. The Kaya story is one that's not going to escape him either, because surprise, people love their animals.
Yeah. Oh, yes. People very much love their animals.
And also, the guy's got like a weird cult about him that people just love to endlessly defend everything he does. He can do no wrong.
Yeah.
But with that said, folks, I think it's time to get out of here. I feel myself phasing out. So we'll get out of here, so folks. So with that, I bid you adieu.
See you later. Literally.
Take him to Detroit.
No, not Detroit. No, please.